So this is the brand new Galaxy Z Flip 7, and it's Samsung's most refined flip phone yet. And if you've been waiting for a flip phone, this is absolutely the one to get. But here's the thing, it costs $1,100. Sure, that's less than the Fold 7, but more than the Galaxy S25 Edge, especially since Samsung just dropped the price by $100, making the Edge $999. Now I get it, these are completely different form factors, but they've got unique characteristics that might sway you one way or the other. Let's break it down. From a design standpoint, they are night and day different. The S25 Edge is ridiculously light. Like, picking it up is generally a wow moment. Your brain does this like double take. It's one of those products you need to experience in the store to really understand. And I get it. It sounds cliche, but trust me, go in, pick it up, and I promise you, your brain will be like, oh, that's kind of nice, right? But that thinness and lightness does come with some sacrifices. The Z Flip 7 isn't heavy by today's standards, but it's definitely heftier at 188 grams. But here's the plot twist. The S25 Edge is actually thinner than the Z Flip 7 when it's open. We're talking about 5.8 millimeters versus 6.5. Now, this is not huge, but it just shows how insanely thin they made the Edge. But here's where things get interesting. The Z Flip 7 has an IP48 rating, water resistant, but not fully dust resistant. Anything under 1 millimeter can mess with the hinge or get inside the phone. The S25 Edge, on the other hand, is full IP68 protection. Dust and water don't stand a chance resistance. Then there's the glass situation. The Flip 7 rocks Victus 2 on the cover screen, and the S25 Edge uses Victus 2 on the back, but a ceramic glass on the front. Now, this ceramic glass is not as tough as what you'd find on the S25 Ultra. Quite frankly, I haven't had any issues yet, but we haven't really gone through long-term use of the phone. Now, when you open the Flip 7, that inner display doesn't feel like glass at all. It's soft, it needs a delicate touch. It's durable enough, but nowhere near as robust as the Edge's screen. But I'm generally excited about the Z Flip's new cover screen. It's 4.1 inches and finally takes up the entire front. Like, to put this in context for you, this cover screen is actually bigger than some phones from a decade ago. But here's the thing, the use cases are pretty straightforward but brilliant. Notifications, time, weather, your schedule, you name it, you can access it from the cover screen. There's a calculator, there's a stopwatch, there's even the ability to install multi-star using Good Lock so that you can throw any app on your screen in a customized widget. And look, I'll be real with you, it's not perfect all the time. Like, some apps look wonky, there are some glitches, but for quick text replies and notification triage, this cover screen is absolutely amazing. Now, someone did ask me if you can hold it to your ear to take calls. Technically you can't, but you can take calls on the cover screen via speakerphone or if you have your headphones on. For regular calls, you'll need to open it up if you want to place it by your ear. Now, in terms of biometrics, both phones have facial unlock, but it's pretty bad in the dark. But they've also got fingerprint scanners. The S25 Edge uses that common ultrasonic scanner right in the middle of the bottom display. Easy to hit with either thumb, you know it's going to work every time. The Flip 7 scanner takes some getting used to. The buttons are cramped when folded, and I find the placement a bit high for my thumb. I'm constantly second guessing it if it's unlocked or not. With the Edge, you know immediately. Now, the Flip 7 does have a bigger 6.9 inch display versus the Edge's 6.7 inches. But here's the weird part. The Edge feels bigger to me. It uses a wider aspect ratio that feels more like a traditional phone. Even though the Flip 7 is wider than the previous Z Flips, I prefer the Edge's proportions. Both have similar brightness, but the Flip 7's inner display is crazy reflective outdoors. Sunny or cloudy days, good luck reading it. The Edge is reflective too, but not nearly as bad. Plus, the Edge has higher pixel density, over 500 ppi versus the Flip's 397. As for selfies, here's a pro tip. Use the Flip 7's main cameras most of the time. The cover screen helps you frame your shots, and the quality from those rear camera destroys the internal one. If we're comparing internal selfie cameras though, the Edge wins. 12 megapixels versus 10. There's obviously a bit more detail with similar color science. Okay, these are the front-facing cameras on the Galaxy Z Flip 7 and the S25 Edge. It's sunset. Colors are looking good. Nice and warm, golden hour, as you guys might know. But anyways, you guys let me know which one has the better video quality, and if you notice any difference in terms of the audio. But honestly, what makes the Flip 7 so cool is all the creative stuff you can do with it. You can rest it on the table to record yourself, no phone stand needed. Load up Gemini to ask about outfits, or you can ask it questions to get answers without having to use a phone stand. Hold it sideways for that retro camcorder vibe while you're recording a video. Take a selfie with friends. They can see themselves on the cover screen. There's just so many neat tricks, like even just using half the display to respond to comments while you're watching a YouTube video. But here's the thing, when it comes to battery life, they both compromise on battery in different ways. The Flip 7's battery isn't bad, but it's not market leading. Like the bump up to 4,300 milliamp hours gives me about 6 hours of screen on time, which is actually better than the screen on time with the Z Fold 7. Like it gets me through the entire day with light or medium usage. The S25 Edge's 3,900 milliamp hour battery, truly terrible. Like if I'm lucky, 4.5 hours of screen on time max. Like I do not feel confident getting through a full day unless I'm barely using it. Like it's rough. Like imagine like you keep this phone for a year or two, like you're gonna be carrying a charger everywhere you go. You're gonna be carrying a battery pack. You're gonna be charging throughout the day, maybe once or twice. It's not gonna be a good situation. Unfortunately, neither phone has super fast charging. Like 25-watt wire charging is the maximum, and both phones support wireless charging at 15 watts. But what surprised me is I expected the Exynos 2500 inside the Z Flip 7 to be sluggish. While it's not as fast as the Snapdragon 8 Elite and the Edge, I haven't noticed slowdowns in daily use. Yes, it gets a bit warm, but not as bad as the Fold 7. The Edge gets warm too, but has better cooling. Hardcore gamers should probably go for the Edge just because it has better performance. Just note that it will drain your battery quite quickly. But I feel like for everything else, like every day-to-day use, the Z Flip 7 has been absolutely fine. But we gotta talk about the camera experience because this is the Z Flip 7's biggest weakness. Like these are mid-range cameras, plain and simple. That 50 megapixel wide lens Samsung has been using forever. Like this is a mid-range to budget lens. And look, I get it, during the day for one-time shots, it's absolutely fine, but it doesn't compare to the Edge's 200 megapixel sensor, which is just significantly better. Like photography, the Edge clearly wins. It's on par with the main sensors from the Fold 7 and the Galaxy S25 Ultra. While daylight photos are fairly close, the Edge is more consistent, captures more light, and completely destroys the Flip past 2x zoom. The Flip gets grainy and noisy fast, while the Edge has way more data to work with. The ultra-wide cameras are basically identical, same 12 megapixel sensor, but at night when zooming, the Edge pulls ahead. I think the Flip's issue is that the cover screen isn't thick enough for a larger sensor. Like imagine if they use that same depth as they did on the Z Fold 7 on front of the Z Flip 7, it would just look very, very weird. But look, both phones can shoot 4K at 30 FPS, but the Edge also does 8K. I get it, not everyone needs 8K, I personally don't use it, but it's nice for keeping more data for editing if you want to punch in. Both have log recording built in, but you'll push the image further with the S25 Edge. Also, I want to talk about speakers because there's something really interesting that I like about the Z Flip 7, and this is probably ridiculous for most people out there, but I noticed it. When you're listening to music on your phone and you have the phone closed, the speakers touch each other like this, which means when it's on your table and facing you, it sounds louder. Like I feel like the volume is louder on the Z Flip 7, which makes the music more immersive. Now I'm gonna do a little sound test compared to the S25 Edge, and you guys let me know which one sounds better. So here's the bottom line. Both of these phones have their strengths. The Edge has better cameras, a lighter build, a more traditional feel. But that battery life, man, it sucks. Like, it's hard for me to recommend this phone because of the battery life, even though it's priced lower. You'll be carrying around a power bank or charging multiple times per day after a year or two. The Flip 7 is not perfect either. The battery does get you through the entire day, but it does have a super reflective inner display outdoors, and the camera system is not that great. You're paying more for inferior cameras. But if you don't need the absolute best cameras and love the cover screen's versatility, it's kind of fun to use. Like, I did find myself using my phone less with the Flip. I can do about 90% of what I need to do on the cover screen without getting distracted. With the main screen open, there's a higher chance I'll fall into TikTok and lose 30 minutes of my life. Anyways, that wraps up my comparison and review of these two phones. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comment section down below. I'll place links to both of them in the description. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.